Alright guys, I'm back again with another tutorial. This time I'm gonna show you 41 plus on hard. So yeah, let's begin. So in round 41 we get introduced to the circles. But you have to be aware of that you shouldn't be afraid to go very close to the circles. They're not gonna kill you even if you almost touch them, but it's almost necessary to be able to be not afraid to go close to the circles. On this round you want to go to the right or to the left because there's where the least chance of getting hit by a hard wave of balls. But basically you can also do it on the top, but it's gonna be easier if you go either to the right or the left side, just because of how the ground is shaped. That's where the least ball is gonna hit in average. What is very important in all of these rounds is that if you want to survive as a team, you should spread out across the whole map and not just be clumped up at the same spot, because then if bad wave hits, you're gonna die all and then lose the game. 42 is not such a hard level. You can do it in several ways. Basically, as I'm doing it here, you can do top, bottom, but the easiest way is to start in the bottom corners. The bottom right is the best one, and then you just basically dodge the horses and the circles, and then you go to the side, preferably the inner side of the outer part, to dodge the second wave of horses, and then you just basically dodge the peasants, and it's really not that difficult. I said that the bottom right is the best corner. This is because of the region coding of Warcraft 3. Basically, you can hug the walls most at the right and the top. So if you are in such a situation that you need to go really close to the edge, the right top side is the best to do that. But in these levels, it basically doesn't matter really. In 43, the most annoying thing you have to watch out for is the pan and freeze. That's why you should just spam click wherever you wanna go. Even if you just stay at one spot, just spam click your champion so that you avoid getting pulled by the pan, because it's only one, it's not gonna do too much. You can't do too much about the freeze, so just look at the positioning and timing of the circles and just dodge them. 44 is one of the easiest rounds in the whole game, so it's not really a difficult round. The only possibility of dying is if you get an unlucky wave from the right and left, where it all comes in either to the top or bottom. In those scenarios, try to hug the wall either on the top and bottom, and most of the times you can dodge it like that. On 45 you wanna mostly go to the top side, but it's important, what I talked about before, to spread out. So in a team game you should send probably at least one or two members down to the bottom side. Here these laser thingies try to slap you. They have a really thin collision value, so it's not that difficult to dodge them. Try to look at the timing of them, because sometimes they're all clumped up, but the timing of each is different, so you can dodge them like that. Watch out for the last wave that will come in a bit. Basically just be ready for it, and mostly look at the top side, and just from the back of your eye look at the two sides and dodge the last wave like this. 46 can be a tricky round because there's not too much space, but basically it's not that difficult. Just look at the spawning of the circles. You can always see which one's gonna explode and which ones are the metagons. The trolls have a really low collision value again, so don't be afraid to be close to them. Go close to them. You could even go inside there, tunnel them, and this level is just about positioning yourself correctly. 47 is a really fucked up round. Basically you want to go into one of the corners, but these totems are really like not that easy to always see where they're gonna hit, because their coding is sometimes a bit off and they're gonna not hit where they're supposed to. Sometimes you can dive above, but basically you want to really stick to a corner and look at the totems that spawn in my case here at the top and the left, and then try to dodge those. be aware of those totems that spawn in such a way that are gonna intersect you where you stand, so that you know you have to dodge them at some point. My favorite spot is top left, but the most efficient one is top right, because you can hug the corner really much here, as I'm gonna show it here, and really just almost avoid all of the lightnings. So just like as you can see it here, you can dodge all of the top and right ones. You don't have to be aware of the ones that come from left or bottom, because they're always gonna hit before they reach the middle. So and the totems themselves don't have a big collision ratio, so you can always just dodge them like that. It's more of the lightning that you have to be aware of, and then in the end the lightning totems that come from the bottom, sometimes they can be tricky, so be aware of them too. So 48 is probably the most difficult round, from 41 to 49 or to 50. So I'm gonna show you a few possibilities how you can die and what to avoid. So basically you wanna start in that corner and be in the middle, and because then you're gonna dodge both from that come from the right and bottom side, and right and left side, and the top and bottom side. Here you want to hug that corner again, and then you have a possibility to go up if that's what you prefer. I don't really like it, because I like it at the bottom more, but here it was just a difficult wave, and it was really hard to dodge. So once again, you can just stay here at the bottom, so you dodge from the two sides, and because you're so low, the ones from the bottom ain't gonna hit you either. Yeah, be careful from these totems. They can sometimes hit you hard. And again, now I'm gonna stay at the bottom. That's what I prefer, and try to dodge them like this. Try to avoid going to the middle, because that's just gonna fuck you up big time. Try to stay at either top or bottom and hug the wall from there. Here I'm going to show you a bug, which happens very rarely, but that's what I talked about earlier. Basically, one of the totems are hitting me from nowhere, so be aware of that too. Well, you can, but it's just so you know that it happens sometimes. So here I'm actually going to do it. Staying in the bottom, dodging from top and right, and the bottom ones as well. Being careful for these lightnings from the sides, and again hugging this corner, so I'm avoiding both of the waves. And then just try to stay here at the bottom middle, so you can avoid the totems and try to dodge the circles. It's really not an easy round, so it's understandable if you die a couple of times. You need some luck and a lot of skills. So 49 is the last round, which can seem a bit easy, but it's actually not. The trick here is that as long as you can, try to stay at the bottom, because obviously it's going to be easier to dodge the rifleman, but don't be afraid to go up and wherever you need to go to dodge the red balls and circles, because those are the main threats. The riflemen are a lot easier to dodge, and here in the end just hug one of the sides and you're going to avoid everything. That's it about this round. So in general, if you're playing a team, try to spread out over the whole field, so you don't end up losing because of a one wave at one big bad spot. If you want to pick a corner and you don't care which one it is, try to go to the top right one. It's the easiest to hug the walls at. In these rounds, most units have low collision rates, so don't be afraid to go close to them to dodge them if necessary. Avoid being in the middle in these rounds, because especially with the ones with the totems and the circles, because it's gonna be difficult in these rounds to dodge them reactionary. It's possible, but it's difficult, so just try to keep to the sides. And with the circles and the balls, it's possible to dodge them reactionary. So if there are some circles far away from you and you can't really calculate out how they're gonna spawn, just look at the balls as they're approaching, and it's really not that difficult to dodge them that way either. 41 especially, just stay at either the left or right side. It's the easiest thing to do. At 42, start in the bottom corners and then go closer to the middle, but still in one of the sides to avoid the second wave, and then just basically dodge like that. And 43, because of the pawn, just spam click the position you want to be at. At 44, hug the bot or the top edges to avoid that slight chance of getting a bad wave. In 45, the yellow round, basically position at the top, except a few players if necessary, and try to focus your eyes on the totems and dodge the rifleman with reaction. So you don't really look at the rifleman spawning at the right and left. Just, you know, from the back of your eye you can see where they're coming, and you can reactionary dodge them while looking at the top. At 46 you have not so much space, so don't be afraid to hug the walls or the edges and tunnel the trolls. It's really, it can save you sometimes when you just tunnel the trolls, because then you get an easier position. At 47, hug a corner, really go to the edge as much as you can, and focus on the relevant totems. Don't look at the ones that are not near you, and watch out in the end for that zapping surprise. 48, the hardest round, just start in the bottom and try to stay in the middle of the bottom or top side, and you know, just try to dodge it from there. Don't go in the middle, it's gonna get really tricky. Try to stay at the sides. At 49, just focus on dodging the circles, really, because if you're gonna try to dodge the rifleman and circles at the same time, so to say, focus at both of them at the same time, then you're gonna have a bad time. Just focus on the circles, and you can see the rifleman in good time enough to dodge them reactionary, and try to stay in the bottom of the side, but you can also go top if it's necessary. And in the end of the round, just go to one of the sides to dodge all of that stuff. And basically that was it. Thanks for watching. I hope I helped some people with some stuff. I'll possibly do another tutorial about the next few levels in the near future. Bye guys.